youngsters, but Mason Greenwood has been in terrific form. He's been delivering goals. Daniel James had a great start to the season, of course, came to prominence in the FA Cup with Swansea only 12 months ago. And the United fans always Daniel like James to see young players in their side. They always give them an opportunity.
They are an unbelievable production factory in that regard. They always have players, even it's not like they just get put in for the league games. Now they always have players in their matchday squad for the league games as well. So no, these cup occasions are great for London. These youngsters, these two have played as well. They know what this is all about. Fantastic tradition of doing it. But they generally do it in teams that are super consistent at the top level and have that real quality. Tougher to come into teams where you're not exactly sure what sort of performance you're getting from the established superstars.
And a quick word from Wolves, Ashley Seal and Kilman, youngsters, but they've gone strong.
Yes, they have done, as you'd expect them to be. This should be a fantastic atmosphere. Could be an absolutely great game.
So it is a really big game to end our day in the FA Cup third round. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Manchester United. Molineux awaits one of the key ties at this stage of the FA Cup. It promises to be a magnificent occasion. Commentary comes from Clive Allen and Steve Wilson.
And so welcome to this wonderful arena and fantastic atmosphere as they dim the lights, crank up the music, get the pyrotechnics going, because from Molineux this is last season's beaten semi-finalists Wolverhampton Wanderers against the 12-time FA Cup winners Manchester United. And Molineux will be full to the brim for this one. They met in that quarter-final in this competition on this ground last season. Wolves ran out winners, of course, 2-1 before finally falling at the semi-final stage to Watford. Clive Allen, man who knows all around the FA Cup, all about playing and experiencing the final of this competition. And in a way, Clive, for these two clubs to come together so early in the competition, it's great for the neutral, it's great for us, but for the managers, they'll be thinking, really, did we have to play them so early?
Well, you know it's a tough game.
It's great for the neutral, it's great for us, but for the managers, they'll be thinking,
over the Christmas
really, did we have to play them so early?
Premier League. You know it's a tough game.
It's great for the neutral, it's great for us,
very intense.
but for the
Home draw, that's been Wolves' luxury, but they draw the mighty Manchester United, who will not be relishing coming here to Molineux to try to progress through this third round. They know it's a tough game, they know it's a good Wolves team, and they know they were beaten here in the quarter-final last season.
So Paul Tierney is the referee. He leads out the two sides. Manchester United on the left of your screen as you look at it, and Wolverhampton Wanderers, the home side, on the right-hand side as they line up in this wonderful arena, which now holds a little under 32,000, and there are very, very few empty seats for this one. As you would expect, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Manchester United is a big draw. Conor Cody, the captain of Wolverhampton Wanderers, leads his side down the line as they meet their Manchester United counterparts. And of course, all kick-off times across the FA Cup this weekend, as I'm sure you know by now, are being delayed by 1 minute as part of the Football Association's Heads Up campaign, encouraging fans around the world to take a moment to think about mental health, and the two sides will line up for a joint photograph opportunity in just a moment to mark that campaign. But you can see here amongst the night sky of the Black Country in England's Midlands, this is going to be a terrific atmospheric cup tie, and great to see both sides supporting the FA's Heads Up campaign. So let's have a look at the two sides. Nuno Espirito Santo's side, 36th game of the season, which started back in July. 5 changes, John Ruddy in goal, Max Kilman comes into the back, 3 Neves and Vinagre into midfield, and Benny Ashley-Seal up front, a 21-year-old Clive making his first start for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yes, a fantastic opportunity for him, a really talented young striker, taking or trying to fill the boots of Jimenez, who has been so prolific and a provider as well for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But Nuno Espirito Santo's squad is being stretched with the number of games they've played to this point.
That's the Wolves starting 11 for this one. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made 7 changes. Sergio Romero comes in goal. Ashley Young, who wears the captain's armband, is on the right of defence, and Brandon Williams, the left back, in midfield. Andreas Pereira, Juan Mata and Tai Chong are brought in, and of course the exciting Mason Greenwood up front. And Clive, he is exciting.
Very, very exciting. 8 goals in 23 in all competitions since making his start with Manchester United. A real mixture of experience and youth from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this mouth-watering third-round FA Cup tie.
And Rashford is amongst the substitutes for Manchester United, who have been hit by a little illness bug, actually. Anthony Martial not available for this one, and Jesse Lingard likewise sent home from camp, not feeling well. We do have VAR today. Paul Tierney is the referee. Michael Oliver is the man back at the VAR hub. Lee Betston, Konstantin Hatzidakis are the 2 referees' assistants running the lines, and Wolverhampton Wanderers go into their huddle before they will kick off against Manchester United. Are Clive, very quickly, do you think Manchester United are even slight underdogs here?
I think they are. I think certainly the number of changes that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made from that Arsenal defeat just perhaps emphasises that he needs some energy in his team, and against the Wolverhampton Wanderers side that do play some very, very open attacking football.
So it's Manchester United who get this game underway, kicking from left to right in their change strip with the black shirts, white shorts and white socks, against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the old gold and the black shorts and black socks. Manchester United in possession. There's only a point separates these 2 sides in the Premier League table. You can expect this to be close. Ball is given away to Tai Chong, who, as he played it through, was just unable to find Dan James, and it's rolled through for an early touch for John Ruddy in the Wolves goal. And Dan James has started out on the left-hand side and Chong on the right, which we expected them maybe to be the other way.
Yeah, Dan James is slightly more central. Really interesting that Nuno Espirito Santo has shuffled his rear guard. Then Donker's moved to play as the right side of 3 alongside Cody and Kilman. And Saiss, who's played in the back 3 over the last couple of games, has moved into a central midfield position with Neves. So although same personnel, they're playing in slightly different positions.
There is Sergio Romero, hugely experienced, of course, but very much Manchester United's number 2 goalkeeper behind David De Gea, of course. Manchester United with Nemanja Matic forward to Greenwood. Mata to James. James back into Matic, recalled to the United side in recent weeks. He's suffered with injuries for much of this season. Their tall, commanding midfielder. Andreas Pereira, the little Brazilian for United, out towards the far side, and the young left-back Brandon Williams, who is another one who's enjoying a bit of a breakthrough campaign.
Well, it's that confident start from this Manchester United side. Certainly with the experienced players that will help the youngsters, but the youngsters at the moment certainly looking bright.
Wayward pass from Williams has gone out of play for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Throw in, hadn't made any first team appearances, Brandon Williams, before Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came to Manchester United. This is his 13th now, and that is the one thing, or one of the things you can say about Solskjaer. He has not been afraid to follow in that United tradition and play youngsters.
No, absolutely, and giving them their heads. Obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trying to give him the confidence.
Here's Ashley Seal in behind. Romero. Offside flag was up anyway.
Ashley Seal is quick, he is a runner, he will run in behind Maguire and Lindelof at the heart of that United defence. Traore on the right, that's going to be a really interesting matchup against young Williams. His pace and power, so explosive. His Traore will be a difficult evening, I feel, for the young Manchester United left-back.
Doherty with that clearance, and Williams, the young left-back in question, takes a throw-in. Harry Maguire for Manchester United. Forward to Matic, here's Juan Mata. Andreas Pereira into Ashley Young. Chong had come short and the ball went a little bit in advance of his run, but what does Juan Mata bring? I mean, a wise old head apart from anything else.
Yeah, vastly experienced, a fabulous technician. He's one who will link between the midfield and the front players. And certainly Greenwood and James have started more as a two up front, with Chong coming out on the right-hand side. And I think that Mata in there, they will be looking to feed the ball into him in the pocket as often as they can.
Pedro Neto called out for that foul, bumping into the back of Andreas Pereira as he protected the ball, the United midfielder. And this gives Juan Mata a chance to try and use that deftness of touch, though Andreas Pereira is over the free kick as well.
First chance for Maguire, Lindelof to get high and get into that Wolverhampton penalty box.
It's Pereira who takes, and it's Paul straight into Ashley Seal.
Really poor, one player to miss, to deliver into that danger area, and he hits the big striker.
Certainly Manchester United enjoying the bulk of possession in these opening 5 minutes of the game, but now a chance for Ashley Seal to stretch his legs and show what he can do and attack that penalty area. And Maguire marshalled him, and Maguire got the final touch on that. It is going to be a corner kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Good stuff by the youngster.
Yeah, just a glimpse of what he offers, certainly that pace and power, and he's determined to run straight at the heart of that Manchester United defence. Maguire holding firm but conceding the corner. First opportunity for Wolverhampton.
It's a young boy, Ashley Seal, who came through Arsenal's system before moving to Norwich and then on to Wolves. Corner kick is played short, and then that's Romero's all day long as it was swung in by Vinagre. Pretty good.
Slight defection, Steve, as that ball's delivered. Maybe just needed to take the touch and deliver quicker.
Pretty good backup goalkeeper to have, isn't he, Sergio Romero? And you could say the same about John Ruddy, of course.
Two very experienced, steady goalkeepers coming into this third round FA Cup tie.
Here's Ashley Seal turning away from Pereira. Was he fouled by Andreas Pereira? Well, Paul Tierney had a good view of it and said not.
I just felt he was always stumbling forward. He didn't have control of the ball.
James taking on Dendoncker. The long outstretched leg of Dendoncker has put it behind for the Manchester United corner, which has already been taken. It's going to be a driven Pereira effort, which didn't travel far before Ashley Seal blocked it. Juan Mata. Clever little ball, that. Nice little 1-2 between Greenwood and Mata. Greenwood again got the shot away. Goal kick.
There's Mata in that pocket, just probing, playing passes into Greenwood. Half a chance for the young striker, just as he drags it away to the left-hand side. You can see it's on the half volley for him to hit. In the end, slices across it high and wide.
But of all the youngsters that they've had coming through the United system, I think in the last couple of years, Greenwood's the one that they've always known was going to make it.
Yeah, I think they've had high hopes of him, and when given the opportunity, certainly taken it.
Here's James, fed by Matic. Good challenge by Dendoncker. That started because Wolves gave the ball away rather cheaply. Doherty under pressure here. It was Matic applying the pressure, and it's going to be a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Well, they conceded at Watford in the Premier League just a few days ago, playing in that manner. Wolves, square pass that was intercepted that cost them. So they have to be aware of that. Certainly is a lively, it's an athletic Manchester United front line.
This is Conor Cody, pretty much an ever-present at the heart of the Wolves' defence. Pereira facing his own goal. Ball is still in play. Chong getting between Vinagre and Neves. The door's shut on Tahith Chong, and the free kick is awarded to Manchester United.
It's a real urgency about United and the way that they've started this cup tie on the front foot, dominating possession.
Dendonker's header came off Williams as an appeal for handball, and I think Paul Tierney saw it that way too. This competition, of course, is a huge opportunity for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who actually won the Norwegian Cup with Molde, but that's a very different kettle of fish, I would imagine. But Manchester United aren't going to win the Premier League title, that much is absolutely clear. Cup competitions could salvage something still quite special from this season for them.
Yeah, I think if you play for Manchester United, you have to start every season trying to win every competition, and they have a fantastic record in this FA Cup, and that will be no different this season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows that this is a tough third-round tie, but progressing from this, and they will be setting their sights on Wembley come May.
This is Pedro Neto, Wolves number 7, laying it infield to Romain Saiz, back to Conor Cody. There's a few whispers around Wolverhampton in recent weeks that the Italian striker Cutrone, he's been suffering with illness himself actually over the last few days, not part of the matchday squad today as Vinagre runs the ball out of play, that Cutrone, who only came to Wolverhampton Wanderers for Nuno Espirito Santo from Milan in the summer, may already be one that they're willing to see move on if they can do some business in the January window.
I think it was always going to be a difficult task for him to displace Jimenez, but when he's played with him, he perhaps hasn't been as prolific as they would have hoped, and therefore, with the window open, things can happen.
As I recall reading at the time, I don't think Cutrone particularly wanted to leave Milan, but there you are. Here's Juan Mata. Mata for Manchester United to Matic. Always good to have players on your side who know what it's like to lift silverware at Wembley, and Mata and Matic fall into that category. Here's Andreas Pereira. Saiz got the challenge in. Pedro Neto here. Ashley Seal is ahead of him. It's Traore away to the right-hand side. He has used him. Traore taking on Williams.
Who does really well in the end because he has to track the run of Traore. He knocks it for the first time on the outside of the young fullback. Neto picks it up. He's positive. Feeds Traore now one-on-one. Can the young man deal with it? He certainly does. That's an explosive burst from Traore. Really well blocked by Williams.
Wolves corner. And oh, my goodness me. Well, I think another corner kick has been given. Romain Saiz attacked this, but it was a United head that made contact.
Well, there's a bit of a mismatch there, and certainly Saiz is being picked up by Mata, who loses him, and he just can't direct the header on target. But Manchester United are going to have to address that. They cannot leave Saiz with Mata picking him up at set pieces, especially corners.
Dendonker lurking as Pedro Neto takes the corner kick. Brilliant save by Romero to deny Doherty. It's an absolutely magnificent save.
A fantastic reaction save from Romero. Doherty is completely free on the corner of the 6-yard box. It's a really well struck right foot volley, in step, turned away by Romero. What a save.
Corner again. Manchester United under considerable pressure here. Neves, Vinagre. Neto, confronted by Chong and then showing a little bit too much of it to Greenwood. Wow, what a stop.
We see it from this angle, beautifully struck, but that right hand goes out. Fantastic reaction. A really strong right hand to keep it out, push it wide of the goal. Super stop, Romero.
Well, the statistics ignore the opposition that they played against, but actually Sergio Romero in 7 games this season has kept more clean sheets than David De Gea has in 22. Romero 5, De Gea 4. Though De Gea might say, well, Romero's played the cup games against the lesser opposition in the early rounds of the League Cup and so on, and some Europa League action, and he would have a point. But it does illustrate just what a good goalkeeper Romero is.
But he would certainly appreciate the quality of that save that Romero's just made from Doherty to keep it at 0-0.
That's Connor Cody marshalling Wolves' back line, finding Dendoncker. And Traore, always a buzz when he turns and picks up pace. Slightly heavy touch there, but Lindelof chose not to try and win it. Maguire then did with a well-timed challenge, and that is a free kick as Matic just took out sight. But Traore just spreads fear and chaos.
And you just sense it in the stadium, the way that the crowd just gasps, because as he takes off, he just is so quick and powerful. Maguire actually made a good challenge. Saiss is caught from Matic, who's coming back. Look at the strength and power, and in the end, it's Maguire sticks out that right leg, makes a well-timed challenge before Matic fails Saiss to give Wolverhampton Wanderers the free kick.
He's a fantastic combination of the physique of probably a middleweight or even a super middleweight boxer and the pace of a 100-metre sprinter. And a free kick to Wolves. Romero's already had to make one terrific stop. Romain Saiss is over this free kick for Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Moroccan hits it with his left foot, not tremendously effectively, it has to be said. Good first touch from Traore. Done well to dig that cross out as well. Brought down by Kilman. Neves back to Cody and Dendoncker.
But after the bright Manchester United start dominating possession, Wolves has worked their way into this game, certainly in the last couple of minutes.
Long diagonal ball aimed towards Neto. Lovely cushioned header. Oh, now there's an appeal for handball there as Lindelof came across. The ball appeared to me to bounce up onto his left wrist.
There was no appeal from Neto, who just towed that ball up. Certainly looked as if it struck Lindelof's arm. He's got away with it. Play's continued.
It was certainly appeal from Wolves fans, but none at all from Wolves players, and that would be the telling factor, maybe. Nicely done from Matt Doherty, looking for Ashley Seal, turning away from Williams. Romain Saiss, all left foot, curled beautifully actually in Vinagre.
I think he just changed his mind, because for 1 second he's going to just side foot that ball across the 6-yard box. Then he maybe feels that he should strike it on goal, and in the end he does neither. Just rolls into the hands of Romero.
It's been a good first quarter of an hour and a bit, hasn't it?
It's a good contest, it really is.
Lindelof. Mata to Matic to Williams. Maguire. Lindelof looks a much steadier presence at the back of Manchester United's defence than he did a year or so ago. Nice little layoff from Greenwood to Chong. The free kick is going to go Wolves' way.
Yeah, it catches Cody, but that was a really subtle layoff by Greenwood into the path of Chong. Super touch, but Chong just taking a heavy touch in the 18-yard box. Cody across to tidy up for Wolves.
Chong, who was actually born in Curacao, is a Dutch under-21 international who Manchester United took out of Feyenoord's youth system. John Ruddy's clearance. Matic to Pereira. Oh, good play by Greenwood. Excellent play by Greenwood.
Fantastic balance. Swivelling, twisting, turning, keeping possession of the ball for his team.
18 years old, Mason Greenwood. His Manchester United's number 18 is a little more than that, Ashley Young. Young again, Matic. Young once more. Good ball that just bent from Mata, forcing Williams to come forward almost. United throw. Well, certainly Romero has made the most eye-catching save of the game so far. As we move into the 20th minute, Manchester United have played some very neat football without really testing John Ruddy yet.
Yeah, they haven't really created a clear-cut chance. The half chance for Greenwood, which he sliced away. The best opportunity of the game falling to Doherty. I think he'd be reasonably happy, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, with the way that his team have started, but would like just maybe that little bit more penetration in the final third and an opportunity to test Ruddy.
Another big cup tie coming for them next midweek with the first leg of their League Cup semi-final, which would be a big occasion whoever they were playing, but the fact that they're playing Manchester City makes it even more significant.
Just another game, isn't it, Steve?
Well, of course, they've already put one over Manchester City in the Premier League this season with what was arguably United's outstanding display of the season so far.
Oh, they'll be looking forward to that, regardless of how either team go into it form-wise. Always a massive occasion, the Manchester derby.
Ashley Young. That's a lovely curling ball by Young, but it was slightly too far in front of Juan Mata, and Doherty can clear. Maguire, is that a push? Referee says not, somewhat surprisingly.
Well, he crashed into the back of Ashley Seal as he was trying to control the long clearance from Doherty.
Matic for Manchester United, finding Victor Lindelof. Tai Chong here. And Pereira with a very wayward ball, finding only Ashley Seal. Cody's been terrific, hasn't he, in the Premier League for Wolverhampton Wanderers? He really has.
Just a model of consistency. He's always a fierce competitor in the heart of that Wolves defence. He really has been fantastic, captain the team this season, a real leader.
Ruben Vinagre here, taking on Chong, going to try and keep the ball in play as well, and he had to hurry the cross in order to do so, and it's curled away behind Sergio Romero's goal. Wolves' record against the so-called traditional top six in English football since their promotion a couple of seasons ago is absolutely terrific. Done the double over Manchester City this season, knocked Liverpool and Manchester United out of the FA Cup last year. There's no club in England who Wolves won't take on thinking that they are their equal.
I just think it's an indication of the progress that the football club have made over a particularly short period of time under Nuno Espirito Santo.
Here's Maguire advancing forward, looking for Williams. Williams into Greenwood, back to Harry Maguire. Juan Mata now with a little pocket of space. He dances forward, Mata. Williams. Greenwood into Andreas Pereira. who was actually David Moyes' first signing as Manchester United manager. Pereira, they won't get onto that ball. That's a goal kick. It was a very disappointing display from his side at Arsenal. It was probably Arsenal's best performance for some time. But Manchester United really capitulated rather lamely, I thought, at the Emirates.
Yeah, I thought it was lacklustre. They failed to really just match Arsenal in their determination, and that is something that is a requisite playing for Manchester United that you cannot afford not to produce.
Here comes James. James into Greenwood. Greenwood's shot is deflected and span. It might have been awkward for John Ruddy, but it's fallen nicely for him in the end. We understand from down in the technical area that Benny Ashley Seal, big day for him this, making his first start for Wolverhampton Wanderers, is just indicating to the bench that he's not actually feeling too well, Clive.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he will want to be passing that information on unless he is feeling poorly. A real shame for the young man. Such a big occasion for him.
Here's Dendoncker. Well, sniffles and snuffles are all part of life at this time of year in England, and footballers are no less susceptible, I suppose, than anyone else. Here's Dan James. That's a good-looking ball, which was calmly dealt with by Kilman in what is not comfortable territory for a defender.
Well, he does have Jimenez on the bench, Steve. A pretty good replacement should he require him. I'm not so sure that Nuno Espirito Santo will be wanting to make that change so soon, but it might be forced upon him.
Here's Lindelof. Chong. Vinagre sticking to his task. Tae Chong sticking to the ball. Looking for support from Greenwood. Juan Mata back into Nemanja Matic. Now Greenwood. Ashley Young.
With Greenwood here, there's only Mata who's a central attacking player for Manchester United in the 18-yard box.
Pocket of space here for Pereira, though, who seemed to just give himself a moment to think about whether he really wanted to take it on, and then when he did, perhaps he might have wished he hadn't.
Well, and he's leaning back as well, always leaning back and to the side. A poor strike.
Well, the one on target was superbly saved by Sergio Romero. That's the highlight so far of the first 25 minutes of what has been an enjoyable watch. Kilman. It was a bit short, that pass, comfortably cut out by Pereira. Chong to Greenwood. Matic into Mata. Went to ground.
Well, he felt the force of the Konakodi challenge, but hit the deck. Portini just waved it away.
Pedro Neto here, trying to take on Young and Matic. Is determined. Pedro Neto did brilliantly, actually. Romero came fishing for that cross and didn't really get a good contact on it at all.
And Traore should have been there. He should have been where Williams was. You can see that he's 10 yards behind the Manchester United left back, and when that ball's whipped in, he should be challenging Williams on that cross. In the end, the young defender has time to clear the lines.
This is the tall Kilman for Wolves. Ashley Seal knocked off it by Harry Maguire, and Maguire was attempting to play that into Dan James. Here's Dendoncker. Had to be very patient, Dendoncker, when he first came to English football. Was barely used for about the first 3 or 4 months of his time at Wolves, and is now really reaping the rewards of his patience, because he's ever present pretty much.
Another superb challenge from Harry Maguire. That's the second he's made on Traore when he's been in full steam running at Manchester United's defenders. Maguire twice making good tackles.
Ashley Young. Again, one in the penalty area for Manchester United, and that's Juan Mata. That's dug out well over the top of the crossbar by Dan James. I mean, not to say that Mata can't score a goal, but they need more bodies in there.
Absolutely. He's not going to be a physical threat. He's not going to be an aerial threat. This is the Maguire, the second good tackle from Harry Maguire on Traore.
He has made himself, I would say, probably Manchester United's senior centre-half. The size of the transfer fee probably helped him cement that position. But actually, Maguire and Lindelof are growing as a partnership, I think. Lindelof now.
He's just limping a little, Harry Maguire, after that challenge when he made the tackle on Traore. Not moving completely freely.
Yeah, you can see that now as he comes forward and receives the pass back again from James. Diogo Dalot is back on the United bench, by the way, today, having returned from injury, and the now little used Phil Jones is also amongst the substitutes. Should Harry Maguire not be able to continue? There is Phil Jones.
Well, he is down stretching off Phil Jones. I think they were sent out. You can see he's just hobbling slightly as he's trying to push off of that right ankle.
It's Maguire going to ground. Williams covering for Manchester United. Forward to Matic. Williams. Young. Phil Jones hasn't started a game for Manchester United this season since a draw with Sheffield United back in November. They're in trouble here. Well, he was dwelling on the ball. Williams thinks he's been fouled. Paul Tierney doesn't.
I think he was caught. Dendoncker just took a chance in letting the ball run, and then Williams just got himself across the front of Dendoncker. The challenge was from behind. Really interested in seeing that again, Steve. I think, for me, Paul Tierney, Matters asking the question, and rightly so.
And